Now this is a character you will be seeing a lot of. This is Strata, one of the D&D characters that I currently play. She was actually my first active D&D character, and I still absolutely adore her. I'd had this piece as a mental image for quite some time before actually committing to drawing it, and there's a lot of detail that goes into it. The statement, "point me like a gun and fire," is representative of the relationship between the two characters in this piece. Strata, who is the lighter blue dragon here, and Arena, who you can see is the hand holding Strata's mouth open. Arena is Strata's aunt, as well as her primary mentor and the commander of their tribe's warriors. This piece doesn't represent anything that has happened in-game, but rather is to symbolize the control that Arena had over Strata's training, turning her into the soldier she is today. Arena weaponized Strata's grief and anger from when she was a child to make her wholly obedient to her commands. As such, Strata's eye is hidden to reflect her reliance on Arena and her blind trust in her judgment. With her teeth bared and lightning pointed to an unknown target, Strata has been turned into a metaphorical gun for Arena to fire wherever she needed. But lately, Strata hasn't been as reliant on her. With her new companions, Arena's opinion isn't the only one she hears anymore, and her newfound friends chip away at the logic that Arena gives her as reasoning to pursue her rampage on the curse. In this piece, her eyes are wide open, even if they're still hidden, and her ears are pinned down. Arena is having to dig her claws into Strata's skin to hold her still, resorting to harsher methods to get her to obey, because Strata is beginning to pull away. Though she isn't fully successful yet, she's starting to see the darkness that Arena brings out in her, and she doesn't want it anymore. Now, I love the colors of this piece, especially the lighting on Arena's claws to show them actually digging into her skin, and the shadows that make Arena almost melt into Strata's neck. These things represent the amount of control Arena has over Strata's behavior, even when she's no longer physically there. The fade from dark blue into green, with yellow to make the lightning and words stand out, really works with Strata's color palette to create a very cohesive piece. But I think this idea would actually benefit from less detail and more hard lines. I've recently been following a webcomic called Hand Jumper, which is an absolutely fascinating webtoon, highly recommend to go and read. And it has these striking scenes where history and flashbacks are told through high contrast scenes made of silhouettes, where the pieces create sharp shapes and the shading is done with texture, not soft gradients. The style is incredible, and I think this piece would look much better with a similar look, as there's so many little details in this version that your eye gets pulled in many directions. Reducing it to its key components, specifically the characters and the colors, would make it much clearer and more striking to the eye. I definitely plan to redraw this piece, maybe sometime soon, so I'll be studying Hand Jumper and similar styles to get the look that I'm picturing. It will be great to see the development of this idea and compare the improvement that I've made. But what do you think? Does the story come through enough on this piece? Or are there other details I could add to make it show through more? Thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear your perspective.